evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Monday, April 18, 2022. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Economist urges Guyana to learn from examples of Ghana TT to avoid oversupply of gas. Let's renew our commitments to humanity, says President Ali in Easter message. Government to re-examine stipend given to TOSHAOS councillors. CANU seizes 2.4 million in cocaine during Belleair Avenue raid. And Indian investors show interest in Guyana's infrastructure development, says ENVOY. Now for the news in detail. Using the examples of other countries like Ghana and Trinidad and Tobago, economist and former director of economics at the Caribbean Development Bank, Dr. Justin Ram, has warned Guyana to guard against the oversupply of gas to the market when the Gas to Shore project comes on stream. Here is Gerald Bryan with our lead story tonight.
Dr. Justin Ram was at the time fielding questions from the media during an Oil Now organized webinar. According to Ram, such is the magnitude of investment needed for the Gas to Shore project that not having enough industries to take off the energy would be detrimental. He gave the examples of Ghana and Trinidad in urging that the private sector be integrally involved in making the project a success.
We have to be mindful of that. I think to avoid that, it's really critical that private sector investment is part of this, because if you're putting private money in this, the risk management approach is going to be very, very high. And if private sector resources are used here, then the fiscal burden, any potential fiscal burden could be reduced significantly. The other example I would say is to look at Trinidad and Tobago, which built a very large gas to power plant in the south of the country. That gas to power plant was supposed to have provided electricity to an aluminum smelter. So of course you could imagine there was going to be significant demand for electricity for that. But then what didn't transpire was the aluminum smelter was never built. So what happens there is that the country is generating far more electricity than it requires.
Additionally, Ram explained that there is a take it or pay for it contract in place for that gas to power plant.
So even though it's not utilizing all of the electricity, it still has to pay for it. Who has to pay for that? Well, it's the owner of the grid, and that is a publicly owned entity. So one has to also look at that, I think. So I think those two examples provide some useful framework. So that's why I'm saying it's very important to do proper demand and supply analysis for this, because then that also will have significant implications for the viability of the project.
The gas to energy project, which is expected to come on stream by late 2024, is expected to cut electricity costs by more than half. Importantly, there are plans for an industrial park comprising of industries that could use gas, steam, and/or electricity. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
As Guyanese from all walks of life celebrate Easter, which marks the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who died on the cross bearing the punishment for humanity's sins, President Dr. Irfan Ali has urged that everybody use this moment to reflect on their own commitments to humanity, and he further encouraged that they continue to strive to be better versions of themselves for the greater good of society and generations to come. Here's what he had to say.
I humbly believe that the church plays an integral part in any society, in the development of any society. The church is a solid foundation on which important principles rest. Principles of justice, peace, tolerance, patience, obedience, faith, hope, all rest on the foundation of the church. And it is the church that must demonstrate the strength of this foundation. When countries are tested, when people are tested, when societies are challenged, it is this foundation that must withstand first and foremost those challenges and present hope and inspiration to overcome those challenges. A lack of money does not give you the right to pull someone down who you believe has what you want. What you need is a good heart, an enlightened spirit. And in my humble opinion, this is what every single Guyanese requires. You cannot love God and hate humans. You cannot love God and hate each other. No. There are simple things we are taught. Beware of some simple things: jealousy, envy, pride. Things that we take for granted, but things that are fundamental to faith. Because it is these things that leads to bigger things. It is these things that leads to situations and scenarios that are contrary to belief, contrary to faith, and contrary to the upliftment of humanity. So, as we celebrate today in faith, in belief, and in hope, let us renew our spirits. Let us renew ourselves and our commitment to each other, to the church, the community, and to humanity. And my prayers are that together we can accomplish the task of fulfilling our mandate in this earthly place and leaving a legacy that those who come after would find inspiration of.
A non-governmental organization took the opportunity on the long weekend to clean cemeteries around Guyana. Back to Roots used Easter Sunday, the day when Christ's resurrection is celebrated, to execute the project. Andrew Carmichael reports, however, that the day chosen had nothing to do with the significance of Easter. Here's a look.
Well, comrades, we start a little thing here, but this is the condition of the Christian Borough Cemetery, the very first part. Look what's going on here. They're hardly fine, and they're all tombs in these big bushes here. Well, this is me, Mr. Orlin Rogers. I'm here along with my good friend OC. We're working, and I have some comrades who are there in front also.
Many cemeteries in Guyana are unkept, with thick vegetation taking over places where dearly loved ones are laid to rest after passing. Founder of the organization, Back to Roots, Susan Grumble urges that some consideration should be placed on the place loved ones are laid to rest.
I went to visit my dad's grave and I couldn't get to him. The bushes was high and mud and ants was biting. We had to run out from the barren ground. And it saddened me a lot. And I said, why should we bury our loved one waiting on a council, claiming it's the council? When it's our loved one, we bought a plot, put them there. Why should we walk away and leave them? So I started this by calling up a few people and saying, well, let's do this. At first, people were afraid. It's a taboo. We were going into the graveyard in Guyanese. But I feel that that is something that needs to put an end to.
She says the initiative was a successful one as many persons joined the activity around the country. At the Christianburg Cemetery in Linden, Oren Fanfair, who works with the Christianburg Cemetery, says the Linden municipality does not have adequate staff to properly maintain that cemetery to the needed extent.
Most of these people that rest in their grave here has been hard working, and they paved the way for us, make this place a success. Okay? So I doesn't believe that people should dump.
Speaking of the activity at the Stanleytown Cemetery in New Amsterdam, Grumble explained that the township also participated.
What they did, they sent in people to start clear up the high trees before we get there. Right. So they make it possible for us to look and see, well, okay, that's where you're going, and clear the road a bit for us. So I am grateful for the help.
Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
Amar Prasad joins us now to report that President Dr. Irfan Ali has assured residents of Region 9 that his administration would ensure they receive the same benefits as citizens who live on the coastland. Here are the details.
During the opening of the Rupununi Rodeo over the weekend, President Dr. Irfan Ali stated funds are currently being spent on developing the infrastructure in Region 9 to ensure that the Hinterland District joins the rest of the country in its upliftment. Over the weekend, a number of buses, ATVs, and tractors, among other equipment, were handed over by the President to the TOSHAOS of several villages in the region.
Tonight, we are very, very happy that these pieces of equipment and transportation, the minibuses, would help significantly in improving community life, in moving your children, in helping the sick, in enhancing your livelihood, in increasing your livelihood options, in promoting agriculture, in helping in the movement of produce from the farm to the market. We are very, 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 very conscious of the impact this investment will have in your community. These are investments we are making to make your life better. These are investments we are making to give you a better shot at life. These are investments we are making to improve the conditions under which you live. And we're doing it because you deserve it. Regardless of which region you are from, you must be part of the upliftment of Guyana. You must be part of the development of Guyana.
The President explained that, this year, the region would see a rebuilding of its infrastructure, and the government would have already spent $3.7 billion on hinterland roads and bridges, which would open up new communities and farmlands.
This year, we're spending close to $4 billion on infrastructure in Region 9. Community roads, bridges, culverts, housing. We're spending money on bringing new energy, 3.2 megawatts of new energy, most of which will come from solar and a mini hydro right here in Region 9. We have already awarded a contract to rebuild all the bridges into international concrete standard from Linden all the way into Latam. Furthermore, we have already commenced the signing of the project to pave the highway from Linden to Mabura Hill, and we're exploring different formula in having the bridge completed and then the road paved all the way here to Latam.
He also assured that the government would set aside resources for the development of sporting facilities so that young people can have a chance to enhance their skills. Meanwhile, President Ali said that the government has spent a historic amount of money in the region, including $197 million in COVID cash grant, which benefited more than 7,800 households, $604 million in an increase in old age pension for the 1,800 recipients, and $235 million in public assistance for 1,400 residents. The President also stated that the government has also invested in training of 237 persons, 70% of which were women. Of the lot, more than 60 were given grants to start their own businesses. Additionally, to ensure that children have equal access to education, he noted over $50 million has been expended on textbooks for more than 7,400 children in 65 schools around the region. For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
Stay with us, more news ahead.
Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. And Hand in Hand, the Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. Your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand, the Trust Corporation Incorporated, a member of the Hand in Hand Group of Companies.
Your child needs nutrients every day. ENVOY has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. ENVOY has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with ENVOY. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. 4 persons, including a teenager, were taken into custody following the discovery of a quantity of cocaine and ganja at Bel-Air Avenue, Lamaha Gardens, Georgetown on Saturday. Based on reports received, the ranks of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit conducted an operation at a residence in Bel-Air Avenue, Lamaha Gardens, during which 2 parcels of cocaine and a quantity of cannabis were unearthed. At the time of the raid, 3 adults and a teenager were in the house, and they have been taken into custody. Those arrested are 55-year-old Keith King, who is no stranger to CANU, having been charged in the case wherein cocaine was found in a lumber shipment in 2013, Dexter Stewart, 49, and Altian Light, 33. They have all been escorted to CANU headquarters along with the narcotics, which, when weighed, amounted to 2.292 kg, which has a street value of approximately 2.4 million, while the ganja weighed 64 grams. All of the suspects are presently in custody as police investigations continue. We now tell you that businessman Premnath Prasad, also called Baby, was on Saturday evening killed after being struck down by a motorcycle in Bartica, Region 7. The motorcycle that struck down the 54-year-old resident of First Avenue, Bartica, CJ 5268, was at the time being driven by a 19-year-old minor. Based on reports received on Saturday at about 22:10 hours, the teenager was driving the motorcycle with another teen as his pillion rider. They were heading in a northerly direction along the western carriageway of First Avenue, reportedly at a fast rate of speed, when the driver apparently lost control of the vehicle and it collided with Prasad, who was standing on the western parapet of the said roadway. As a result of the collision, the 2 teenagers fell off the motorcycle and sustained injuries about their bodies. Prasad, however, was seen lying on the roadway in an unconscious state. They were all picked up and taken to the Bartica Regional Hospital, where Prasad was pronounced dead on arrival, while the 2 teenagers were treated and sent away. Recognizing the important roles TOSHAOS and councillors play in society, President Dr. Irfan Ali announced that government will be re-examining the stipends allotted for these groups of leaders. In fact, he said an announcement in relation to this is expected to be made before the next National TOSHAOS Conference and will bring better conditions for them to serve the people. Here's what he had to say.
We also made a commitment to you that we're going to look at a stipend for councillors and TOSHAOS, and even the regional councillors. I can assure you that long before the next National TOSHAOS Conference, we will make some announcement that will make you happy and bring better conditions for you to serve the people.
The high-profile Indian investors who visited Guyana last week are exploring investment opportunities in a number of areas, with a keen interest in infrastructure development. Find out more in the Shane Marks report.
That 6-member delegation led by chairman of the D.Y. Patel Group, Dr. Ajinkya D.Y. Patel, included former Indian cricket captain Kapil Dev of the Dev Group of Companies, chairman of Vishwa Samudra Group and owner of Krishnapatnam Port India, Chinta Sasadar Rajesh Puri, Dev Features Limited, and Ashish Kataria, Director Ashoka Bilcon Limited. Dr. Patel is Guyana's honorary consul in India and was driving the force behind organizing the visit in collaboration with the Indian High Commission in Georgetown. Speaking with this newscast, Indian High Commissioner Dr. K.J. Srinivasa explained that the investors who came are from companies that are into infrastructure development, ports, roads, and health facilities, among others. During the 4-day visit, they met with local stakeholders from the government, led by President Dr. Irfan Ali and some of his cabinet ministers, the Private Sector Commission, the Guyana Oil and Gas Energy Chamber, and other private sector players. Dr. Srinivasa believes the delegation had very fruitful engagements and is now currently exploring various options. He added that the team also did a site visit to various housing projects being done by the Guyana government. The Indian diplomat further disclosed that the legendary cricket superstar Kapil Dev, whose company specializes in sport infrastructure, also expressed interest in future collaborations in Guyana. Moreover, among the group of investors was a director from Ashoka Buildcon Limited, which is a company that was awarded the contract for the East Coast to East Bank Bypass Road project, which is being funded by the Indian government. It was announced in January that Ashoka won the contract to construct the Ogal East Coast Demawara to Eccles East Bank Demawara Road ahead of two other Indian companies. Since then, the Guyana government has written the Indian Exim Bank through diplomatic channels to seek its no objection for the Ogal to Eccles Bypass Road to be constructed by Ashoka, which has built a number of bridges and roads in India. Shane Marks, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Tuesday, April 19 at 3 hours 30 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Tuesday, April 19 at 5 hours 45 for a period of 1.5 hours.
5 medals for Guyana at Crifts so far, and Butler's century propels RR to easy win. Details of these stories in this podcast sponsored by Maccorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
At John Lewis Styles, we carry only first quality men's and women's clothing, footwear, and accessories. As authorized dealers, our items come directly from the manufacturing brands and are available in all sizes and colors. What we sell was never on display in another store. It's time you know the truth about what you buy. Come visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Oh, how I love my Fruta. Wherever you're pouring, I know if you love Fruta as much as I do, you'd go for the 1 liter. It's the same great taste, same trusted goodness, packed with vitamins for the whole family. But now it's just a whole lot more for you to enjoy. Only $380 nationwide. Fruta.
Your child needs nutrients every day. ENVOY has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. ENVOY has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with ENVOY. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Try our virtual sports and win big with so much matches to choose from. Betting starts at $100. Play for your chance to win. Log on to www.superbet.gy or visit any one of our agents to place your bets. Terms and conditions apply. Have fun and play responsibly. Must be 18 and over to play.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's waste management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanups, or construction sites. It's simple. Step 1, just pick up the phone and give us a call. Step 2, we deliver the skip bin size of your choice. Step 3, load the skip with all of your junk. And finally, step 4, we take it all away. It's that simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there's no job that's too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218-11.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store, located in downtown Georgetown and industrial side Rheinveld.
Oh, how I love my Fruta. Wherever you're pouring, I know if you love Fruta as much as I do, you'd go for the 1 liter. It's the same great taste, same trusted goodness, packed with vitamins for the whole family. But now it's just a whole lot more for you to enjoy. Only $380 nationwide. Fruta.
Miners, welders, and contractors. Have broken parts caused you tremendous downtime? Do you need an extra heavy-duty, dependable welding machine that will get the toughest jobs done and can also double as a generator to power all of your tools? Well, your #1 industrial solutions provider Sylvie's has you covered. We currently have in stock the Hobart Champion Elite Arc Welder and Generator. This capable electric start generator produces up to 11,000 watts of AC power to run tools, work lights, or backup power during an outage. It can simultaneously deliver 150 amps weld output and 8,000 watts of generator power and can run up to 14 hours on one 12-gallon tank of gas. This portable generator handles mild steel, stainless steel, and cast iron with a maximum thickness of ½ inch in a single pass. So what are you waiting for? If you can't make it to our 31 High and Hatfield Streets Georgetown location, we can deliver. Give us a call on 227-6226 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 or visit our website sylviesonline.com. Sylvie's Industrial Solution, proudly serving Guyana for over 4 decades.
Your child needs nutrients every day. ENFOGROW has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. ENFOGROW has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with ENFOGROW. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.